Hi guys, Linda here from Create Your Future. Before we begin, we do have a free course down below on how to find your blocks and manifest fast. And also the link is there. If you'd like one-on-one coaching with me, I'd love to help you. So today's video is a subscriber's question. She left a comment under my last video called Manifesting on a Time Crunch, the Valentine's Day edition. So she left a comment below, and I am here to make a video to answer this because I feel like this is also something that's happened to the best of us. It's happened to myself, and maybe by answering her question, it's going to help others out as well. So she basically says that her SP revealed to a mutual acquaintance that he is committed to a longtime girlfriend. Apparently, he's been keeping it under wrap from everyone. So he doesn't really post pictures or anything of them together. That's why she hadn't found out sooner. This has left her confused because a year ago, when they were trying to talk, he was definitely making all the first moves. He was definitely doing all the initiating. And later on, he turned cold. He still is hot and cold, and there's a lot of ghosting and mixed signals. But when we first met a year ago, he made so many romantic posts about me, which I assumed were for me. But now I'm assuming they may have been for this long-term childhood friend that is now their partner, their girlfriend. I'm confused if it was for a long-time girlfriend and totally disappointed. Can I just go ahead and assume that those were actually meant for me, as I had thought long ago? Will that solidify into truth in my reality? P.S. I plan on manifesting him back anyways. I love it. Yeah, hello, of course. We get what we want. So, a few things here. To answer that last piece of, can I just go ahead and assume that those romantic posts were actually meant for me as I thought long ago? Yes, you don't have concrete proof if they were for her or for you. So what you assume to be true will be true. So yeah, at the time, of course they were meant for you. That's how he felt about you. He's always felt that way about you, and that's the way he used to show it, by these posts. So yes, of course, you are almost kind of reconvincing your brain, your subconscious, that those were for you. Again, all you see are posts. The romantic posts are neutral. They could be for Jack, Jill, your mom, your dad, a girlfriend, an SP, a cousin, doesn't matter. We give it meaning. So if it wasn't specified who it was for, I'm going to assume it was for me. I was talking to him at the time. Therefore, yes, those posts were for me, for her, for them. So therefore, yes, that will reconvince yourself that those posts were for you. Now, this is why having a coach is a good idea, because we kind of point out the blind spots, or, just reading this comment, I'm picking up on things that are like oh yeah, okay, I get it, the aha moments. Not that coaching is an absolute must. You can learn a lot from videos and some really good coaches and really good books and really good mentors and the Neville Goddard and all that. Just, be careful who you're getting info from and not confusing yourself. But having a coach is that little extra piece to help you figure things out. Another thing is that if you write a comment under one of our videos or in a group chat or something like that, it's very hard to get an accurate answer because there's more investigating that someone needs to do to help you. So whether it's somebody in a group chat or if it's a live, when there's lives and you ask a question at the bottom, or like something like this at the bottom of the video, we can't really answer fully. It's not a one-size-fits-all black and white answer. It's determined by your self-concept, your history, the past. We would need more info. So in just reading her post, however, can she assume those posts were for her? Yes, and that would harden into fact. She would convince herself that those posts were always for her. But one thing that I noticed, which is a pattern in a lot of relationship situations, and myself as well, I'm ding ding ding, been there, done that. If you do coaching with me, you'll notice that as I'm taking notes, I'm laughing, I'm going because I know exactly where it's going. Been there, done that, right? So she says that he was very loving in the beginning, romantic, initiated things, but then he changed and turned cold. So remember, it's not people that are changing. We're not changing them to conform for us, and they're not changing because they don't like us and they're leaving us, they're no longer interested. What happens is when you meet somebody, it's still neutral, it's still new, you're starting to get to know each other. They start off good, with the phone calls and the flowers and making plans, and then they change. All of a sudden, they change. The reason why I'm air quoting it is because these are just assumptions, limiting beliefs. They're not factual. And people will say, oh, and then they changed. So they didn't change per se. Remember, everyone is you pushed out, and they're always reflecting you. So when you start liking somebody, now you're actually worried about losing them. Now you're actually thinking like, I hope they don't leave. Now your old subconscious beliefs start to creep in to protect you. So all those thoughts of cheating or limiting beliefs or that people leave you or that you're not good enough, those start creeping in. Remember how I've mentioned before that the subconscious mind is there to predict and protect you. Yes, it's beautiful, it's perfect when there's a dangerous event going on, but it doesn't need to do that all the time. On a subconscious level, that's what happens. Now you're starting to like the person, everything's going good, they're showing up favorably, and that subconscious is creeping in saying, hey, Linda, remember what happened last time though? Remember the last time you liked somebody? Are you sure they're really into you? Are you sure you're good enough? I don't know if they're going to choose you. Remember the other guy, girl, person you dated? Remember when they left you too? And so now it's predicting and protecting you from the worst case scenario. That comes from your self-concept. That comes from your mental diet. And now when these fears start to come up, it's going to reflect back to you. Fear of them leaving you, now they're ghosting you. Fear that you're like not good enough, they might choose someone else, then they break up with you. And now you're hot and cold. You want to be with them, you're doing techniques, you're doing all the right things to get them to conform and reflect in the 3D. But at the same time, you're fearing that it might not work. You're afraid they might leave, and therefore they're hot and cold because you're hot and cold. They're wavering because you're wavering. So I just want to touch base on that when someone does change, stop and think to yourself and say, okay, what was I thinking before they ghosted me? Oh, okay, I was kind of worried they might leave. I was hoping they would stay. I was hoping that they wouldn't find someone else because I'm really liking them. You know what? I kind of got scared because this happened before, and I was thinking to myself, I hope this guy doesn't leave like the last one did. And then they left. And you're like, okay, so now I know what to change. Now I know what to say. Now I know what to flip. Now I know where my story's at. So I'm going to go back with it and say, I am always chosen. I am always in faithful, loving, committed relationships. I intend that every person that I attract is loyal and committed to me and only me. I intend that I only attract people that are here to stay. I have always had experiences with men, women, partners that value, respect, and appreciate me. Like the opposite of what that was. I am always chosen because I am good enough. And then that will reflect in them showing up favorably. Now, that's the same thing with when a third party shows up or you find out, like in this case, that they had a girlfriend. Again, if I have a fear that SP might leave me, might find a girlfriend, or I don't feel good enough, or I have an assumption that whenever I like somebody, they leave, that may also show up as a third party because that's going to validate to you those thoughts. That's going to reflect to you those thoughts. I wasn't chosen because they chose a third party. I'm not good enough because they picked someone that was better. Men always leave me, therefore they reflected that they leave you. So keep that in mind that when someone changes or things started off good and then ended off, not so great, go back and do the reverse engineering. Go back and look at your mental diet, your thoughts, your assumptions, and we're going to change that story. We're going to make a list of intentions in the favorable story, the opposite of all those negative things that we were thinking. The last thing I want to say is, you could always revise it or ignore the 3D. For example, this subscriber said they're keeping it under wraps. There are no pictures. There is no evidence that SP is with a third party. So maybe the person that told you lied. Tell yourself that. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. There isn't a third party. Maybe they were just saying it to make me jealous. Maybe they were just saying it to see my reaction. Maybe they were just thinking that they had a third party. It's not true. The same way you create an unfavorable circumstances without proof, just with like a really strong assumption and it reflects, is the same way we can get something favorable to reflect. Change that story. There was no proof. You saw no picture. They're keeping it under wraps. They're keeping it on a down low. They don't post pictures of them together on social media. Maybe because it's not that serious. Maybe they don't show pictures together because he's not really into her that much. So that's why they're not posting them on social media, because SP really wants me, really loves me, and they're coming back to me. Maybe this third party doesn't even exist. That's why it was never posted. Do you see what I'm trying to say? There's no real proof of anything until you bring attention to it. Everything is neutral. If SP posted a picture of a girl, you don't know who this girl is. You don't know if it's a girlfriend, a cousin, a sister, a friend. You don't know. But now you're going to assume it's got to be a girl. SP pulled away, probably because of her. That's, or him, whatever you're into dating. That's probably why they pulled away. There's a picture of that girl. That's probably a new girlfriend. That's why they ghosted me. If you keep ruminating on that, you're going to create that. So what you want to do is say, maybe it's a cousin, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a neighbor. And you know how many times I've done stuff like that? And then, oh yeah, my sister just came from out of town. She's here for the weekend. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's who was in the picture. And here's me thinking, you know, all the cuckoo crazy worst case scenarios. So yeah, you can revise that story with that information. There weren't any posts or pictures because either A, the girl's not really existing and they just made it up to see your reaction, or I don't know what story you want to give it good meaning and ignore that 3D as factual. Or you could say the reason why they don't post that picture of that person, they don't show pictures of themselves together, is because maybe they're not too sure of that relationship and how it's going to work out. So they're not posting it. They're going to break up. They're already broken up because they want me. They love me. So you could do that as well. So yeah, so I intend that not only did I answer the subscriber's question about, you know, telling the story that those original posts were for her, absolutely, what you assume to be true will be true, but I don't even think they noticed that all those other little nuggets of information they put in the comment to get to that question revealed a lot of information on their mentality, their mindset, their mental diet, their assumptions, their fears, and clearly it was reflected by what she said that she discovered. So on that note, keep an eye on your mental diet. When something shows up unfavorable, before we, you know, flip our lids and assume worst case scenario, stop. Reverse engineer, what was I thinking before that happened? What is it showing me? Remember, people are messengers and failure is feedback. What is this trying to show me? What do I need to work on? Okay, I still have a belief that people leave me. Okay, I'm going to change that. And then you're going to tell yourself the new story. I intend that I only attract men that are committed to me. SP loves me and only me. That friend was just telling me that there was a third party in the picture to get my reaction. If there is a third party in the picture, the reason why they're not showing them on social media is because it's not a serious relationship. I'm on their mind and they're going to come to me. And what you think dominantly is what's going to start reflecting back to you. And when someone's reflecting back to you unfavorably, remember, everyone is you pushed out. So it's always within. We change ourselves, not others. We change our mental diet, we change our thoughts, we change our stories, and then it has to reveal itself to us. It has to reflect back to us, a good story or a negative story. Everything is neutral. We're giving it the meaning. So remember, if you see something that's unfavorable or you hear something that's unfavorable, revise it, reverse engineer to see what you were thinking and where those thoughts came from. Tell the new story consistently. Say your intentions for the favorable story consistently. And like I said, whatever's more dominant is going to harden into fact and reflect back to you. So I intend this video answered our subscribers' question, comment, and a whole bunch more came with it just by reading that comment. And I intend that this also helped the viewers because I'm pretty sure we've all been in something similar. So until next time, if you'd like coaching, the link is down below, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye.